opportunity. And somebody asked me, like, how many different strands of mushrooms have you done? And at the time, I was like, dang, that's a good question. It's been about 5 years. And I'm like, wow, I need to go home and sit down and think about that, because how many different strands have I done? Okay, so we got the count. The count is at 20 from what I can remember. Over the course of 5 years, I've done 20 different strands of psychs, and I'm going to give y'all a list, and I'm also going to tell y'all some of the stuff that I've realized as I have just matriculated through this whole, like, course of getting my feet wet and just understanding what the fuck I'm doing. Number one, the list. We have APES, which is an acronym for Albino Penis Envy, Jack Frost, Enigma, Amazon, E4K, Burma, Hanoi, Costa Rica, Golden Teachers, regular penis envy, albino blue meanies, blue magnolia, regular blue meanies. I've had a Trinity blend, Trinity meaning that there were 3 different kinds of mushrooms that were genetically cloned, all on the same agar plate, and from that there was born a fusion, if that makes sense. Like a crossbreed, essentially. Leucistic Blankman, Ghost PE, Shakti, White Rabbit, Tidal Wave, Malabar Coast. Now I think that's about it. I might have left off a few here and there, but overall, can I tell the differences? Yes, I can. I can tell the difference by how they look, how they grow, and I can tell the difference by their potency. I think to date, the strongest mushroom I have ever consumed is an Enigma. They are very rare. They are also very expensive. Very expensive. Just because it takes a long time for them to grow. That's the first part. Second part is that when they do grow, they don't grow like a typical mushroom. They kind of look like a coral reef. They are very light, but they are very potent. Y'all heard that phrase, walk light and carry a heavy stick? That's Enigma. That's Enigma for you, for sure. Also, too, it's a matter of learning your body and figuring out what works for you. I have a preference for albinos. I love those. PEs are absolutely my favorite, and I am a PE girl. Sorry, not sorry. PE standing for penis envy. Beyond trying all these different ones, I'm learning that when people come up with these names, number one, they could have just made that shit up. They could have made that shit up. If they cannot tell you the genetics behind these mushroom strains, regardless of the name, probably steer clear. You don't even understand genetic tracings of mushrooms, you probably shouldn't even be doing it. I know some of y'all probably like, girl, what do you mean genetics? You don't understand. What do you mean the genetics? It's very much so science. Certain strands are made from different strands, and if they are making their own crossbreed of a mushroom, it's probably came from 2 different kinds of mushrooms. You should be asking that. I have joined a good number of mushroom groups on Facebook and mushroom grow groups specifically. I love that they are just breaking down what the genetics behind it is. So they have like these different abbreviations, but it almost kind of look like a family tree where they say, okay, this is this and this makes this. If I can find it, I'll put a picture of it in here for y'all. I'm just learning that there are genetics to it, and being able to understand the genetics helps you purchase things a little bit better, and it helps you also to find not only the source, but it helps you to deal with people who just know what they're doing and know what they're talking about, and probably care more about the quality of whatever it is that they grow it. So yeah, cheat code for that. Takes a little legwork. Some people might not even be interested in all that legwork, but me, I want to know it all. What y'all talking about? I'm nosy. I want to be informed, and so yeah, those are all the different strains that I've done. The second part of this video that I want to talk about is social media, because social media has a way of just influencing a lot of things. It has a way of pushing negative stereotypes and stigmas, and also pushing a lot of misinformation. And of course, if y'all been here long enough, y'all know I hate that. I don't like that. So what I'm also going to stress is this: when you hear people talking about mushrooms in general, there are a few things that I want you to tune your filters of your ears to understand. Number one, I really genuinely feel like there's only 2 things that they are trying to do. 1, they're either trying to sell you on a product or an experience, or 2, they telling you or doing whatever or saying whatever just for the view, and that's it. If it's a company, that company wants your money. They're going to tell you what they think you want to hear. They're going to monopolize on your level of ignorance, and if you lazy, they're going to capitalize on that too, because we know you're not going to look this up. You're going again, I'm gonna let them have it. That's not my story, that's theirs. They'll realize it, but there are also people like me who could just see through that shit and be like, all right, bro, cool story, next. And so what I want people to grasp before they understand any of those small, minute things that are specific to whatever they trying to portray that may not be authentic is that their stories are reflective of them as a person and not of whatever medicine or substance or whatever the case. You know what I'm saying? It's reflective of them. People's stories as it pertains to anything that will alter or tamper with their psyche is specific to them. The same way hallucinations are specific to you and to what's already in your brain and in your environment and in your surroundings and attached to whatever you got swimming around up here. Listen to the story and take it as a reflection of that person, not as a reflection of whatever the catalyst is that got them there, if that makes sense. You'll be like, oh, you'll be having all these great experiences, right? Because I be focused on curating a moment. I be focused on good vibes. I be focused on things that raise my vibration. I be focused on things that bring me happiness, that bring me peace, that bring me joy. I be focused on leveling up. I be focused on tapping in and trying to learn and grow and be better. All these other stories where people be like, yeah, it's some wild shit happens, so wild shit is life. Wild shit happens every single day. With or without an inebriator, with or without something to alter whatever you already got going on. Or to bring it to the forefront, because that happens a lot of times too. But I really want to stress that whatever the experience, whatever the story, it is reflective of them and not the mushroom. Once we start to understand that that's the root of a lot of these stories, a lot of these viral videos, and then also too, what really grinds my gears is when you could just tell that it's not really about the mushroom. It's about whatever bullshit they got going on. Prime example, it was this girl on Instagram and she was doing a story time. Story time was about how a guy finessed her out of some neck. Read between the lines. A guy finessed her out of some neck and she blamed it on the mushrooms. And she's like, yeah, I ain't never did nothing like this before. It gotta be the mushrooms. Girl, stop lying. You wanted to be hot in the ass. That was already there. So what you end up doing? Being hot in the ass. Like, I'm not understanding why we are dressing this up. We all grown. People like to do what they like to do. And there's nothing wrong with it. But please stop lying about it. This was the story wasn't even a good story. It just sounded like one of them hotels. It did. It was just people in the comments that was like,
yeah, you just should have did them shrooms. Blame it on the shrooms.
No, she's already freaked out. The mushrooms is not the culprit at all. She's hot in the ass. She's already hot in the ass. I'm trying to figure out, why are we blaming this on the mushroom? It's not making sense. And as much as I can see through it, I want y'all to be able to see through it as well, because the video didn't even do that good. So you just told your sexual business for nothing because you're doing it for the views, okay? And so I'm gonna just leave that there. I hope this video was informative for y'all. Please fine tune your filters. Please understand that there's a point behind every person who is trying to get you to listen to them, and see if you could just read through what the point is. It will give you a better level of discernment at the bare minimum, and it'll just help you see things for what they are. If you like this video, go ahead and give it a thumbs up, comment, like, and subscribe, and I will catch y'all on the flip side. Peace out, Mushie Buddies.